Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Media CPUC show. Ladies, did we vote this weekend?
We voted. I voted.
You voted. What about you, ladies?
I did vote as well as a citizen of South Africa.
Yes,
also
of course.
responsible. I did put my X.
All right.
Yes,
What about you?
We wake up very, very early. We make sure that we are the first one in the queue to vote.
And it was
Good
a
for you, and our
rainy
thumbs are proving that.
Yes.
Today on the show we have our special guests, Mbui and Busi. They are from the admin team at the Constitutional Court, and they're going to tell us a bit about the constitution of our country, especially now that we've just voted and a lot of our youth voted for the first time, and we would like to acquaint them a little bit with their rights and our country and how it works and what it stands for. So, Mbui, can you just run us through the Constitution, what happens to it? Because we've done some of our research, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
We and I have done our research, and we would also like to explain to our viewers, but can you start it off for us?
Okay, thank you so much, Vicky.
You're welcome.
As per the Constitution of South Africa, we have a preamble which we, as the people of South Africa, we recognize and we also honor the injustices of our past. We all know that we come from a background or a past that was very hurtful
Yes,
to
of course.
some of our
Yes,
people
definitely.
in South Africa, especially the black people. But then what we're saying in the preamble is that we must know our history, but then in knowing our history, we're not saying we're going back to the injustice of our South Africa. We're saying we recognize our history, but now moving forward, how do we build South Africa as a unity?
yeah.
You know, how do we develop our country and also believe and ensure that we are living in a united South Africa that is like in united South Africa, in diversity, you know, through the freely elected representative. The Constitution of Supreme Law of the South Africa also has where we say we have fundamentals, where we look at the healing part. How are we going forward from those injustices of the past, so that we make sure that we heal from the wounds of the past,
Yes,
and we
of
make
course.
sure that we also bring across the democratic values, the social injustice, and the fundamental rights, which will ensure that the society which the government is based, every citizen is protected by the law. We also look to improve the quality of all our citizens to ensure that we build a united South Africa. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It's just a breakdown of the preamble of our constitution for those who don't know. So what we would like to do now is to run through just a little bit of the actual chapters of the constitution for those who can't read and write, you know,
Okay.
so that we can explain to them what it entails, what it is about, and how it gets done. Would you like to lead us?
Definitely. We have 14 chapters in our constitutional South African constitution. I'm going to be running through chapter 1 up to chapter 7. Having chapter 1 as the chapter that contains a supremacy, which establishes that all other law and actions are subject to the constitution. Remember, the constitution defines the country's flag and also the national anthem, and it also specifies the official languages and the principles of the government language policies.
I'm sorry for you. Just a quick question.
Yes,
Speaking
babe.
about the official languages, I've heard one of our Khoisan people, they have a policy in place that they want their language to be one of the official languages. What do you think about
I
that?
support them. I 100% support them.
Yeah.
Because everyone has a right to remember.
Yes.
We are all living in the same cities in South Africa,
Democratic
democratic
country.
country.
Yes.
So I believe they also have a lawful right to have their language as recognized.
After all, the Khoisan people are one of the first people that were found here. What was it? What did we learn about in history? The Strandlopers.
Which
And
brings us back to the preamble.
Yes.
yes, so definitely
Exactly.
they do have that
Exactly.
right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank
yeah.
you, Marie, for that question. And then we also have chapter 2, the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights, it narrates, it's more about the civil, the political and economic, as well as the social and cultural human rights for the people of South Africa, obviously. And most of these rights, it gives you a clear indication or a clear I would say understanding.
Yes.
Thank you. Understanding that everyone has a right to work, everyone has a right to live in this country.
Yes.
I'm not going to narrate on more and more of these rights. Then we also have chapter 3. Chapter 3 deals specifically with the relationship between the organs of the government, and it has 3 spheres. We have the national sphere, we have the local, and we also have the principle requiring them to cooperate in good faith. Then the third one is to act in, everyone has a right to act in their best interest as they are the people of this country.
Yes.
Then we have chapter 4. Chapter 4 defines, I love it, it defines the parliament, the structure of parliament.
You love it.
Yes, I really love it. The legislative branch of the national government. And the parliament, as you know, the parliament consists of 2 houses. The National House, known as the Lower House. We also have the National Council of the provinces, that is the Upper House. So basically that's what we have on chapter 4. Then we have chapter 5. Chapter 5 basically defines the structure of the national execution and the powers of the president.